guys? This is Bobo Jones, and this was my first track day of all time. Again, this is a BMW of New Century event, owner appreciation event, and even though I didn't buy my bike from them, somehow I got on the mailing list and invite for this, and it was super nice and made me feel bad that I didn't buy the bike from them because they spent a lot of money. And those were the guys that I said before, like, let me take the bike out to test drive it in ACH for like 3 hours, my video of the single R. And so it's a really awesome thing they do, and I really recommend that you guys, if you're in the LA area, you're thinking of buying a BMW, go to these guys. I mean, the price was a little bit higher, but they do so much nice stuff for their customers, like this event, which was completely free. It included water, lunch, free massages. It was an insane event, so I really encourage everybody to support them. The guy I know there, his name is Tony. He's super nice, and yeah, he'll take really good care of you, and they're just awesome, and everybody at this event was so nice. But anyway, so this is my first track event. So this first lap here, what happened is, let me start at the beginning. I put myself in as very beginner. I put myself in as I've never been in a track day before. But for some reason they have 4 groups. One goes every 15 minutes. Usually it's 3 groups. This one was 4. So group 1 goes from, this was 9 a.m. to 9:15. Group 2, which is slightly better, goes 9:15 to 9:30. Group 3, which is slightly better, goes 9:30 to 9:45. And group 4 goes 9:45 to 10. So they put me in the second group of group 1, which was, I think, a bit too advanced for me. And so as we'll see later on, I ended up switching to group 0, which is like the super newbie group, because I wanted to have a follower. So you see the guy in front of me with the high-vis vest. He works with BMW, and I think how they do it is they're really good riders, and to get a free track day, they have to agree that for 2 sessions they will help people like me, so as leads. So I follow them, so they show me the lines. And so this one I didn't have anybody at all. Like, they show you the first lines throughout, but then I didn't have anybody at all. And so for my second and third ride, I asked for a lead. And on one of the rides, I don't think I recorded it, but I was basically holding everybody up with my lead. But he was showing me the lines, and so he was like, maybe you should go to group 0 just because you're learning the lines still. And I was like, yes, I wanted to be in group 0 from the beginning. So anyway, here we go. So this will be one of 3 videos I show. This is my very, very first time on the track. They're just leading us on this first lap, right? So they take you through, they kind of show you the lines for the first lap. Again, here I'm in group 1 when I should have been in group 0, but that's okay. And yeah, it was really nice. They have 2, I don't know what they're called, leads or helpers or whatever, per session, and you can ask to follow a helper, because no matter which session you're in, they're probably better than you. But for this one, I had no idea which gear to be in, and it was super bad. I was in the wrong gear all the time. I think in this one, I try to quick shift down to 1 at some point, but I don't. I go into neutral, but I'm just going super fast, so then when I switch into first, my back wheel kind of squiggles out. And I didn't trust my tires at this point, because the night before, I looked at my front tire and realized it was dead, and I just got my rear tire changed, but I didn't even think to get my front tire changed, because I figured the front tire gets at least 1,000 over the rear like they did on my Pilots, but on this one it was just spent, and so I freaked out on Saturday and got my front tire changed, which sucked. So I was scared. I only had about 100 miles. There were 100 good miles because it was hot. And I was going about 75 to 85 on the highway to get up here for around 100 miles. So I think they were scrubbed in good, but I was still nervous until a couple laps after this. I talked to somebody and they were like, oh, dude, you're totally fine. These new Pilot Rosso 2s, you'll be fine. So in this first lap anyway, For those of you who haven't done a track day, they show you the lines. In Group 1, you're allowed to pass on the outside only, and you're allowed to pass, obviously, on the straightaways with a 6-foot rule. So I'm just following along. You know, I'm pretty nervous here, and just trying to get a feel for these turns. I ended up, as the day progressed, getting much better. I talked to people about which gear they were in. There was a couple guys with my bike. One really nice guy with my bike told me kind of, basically you're only in third gear in the straights, and then you're in second gear the entire rest of it. So for these little technical areas where you're going left, right, left, right, left, right, you're in second the entire time until the end, and then the opening straight, you're in, you get up to third gear, and then on the ending straight, you're in third gear also. But this whole area here, back to the beginning, up to the opening straight, you're in second. So, by the way, this is Streets of Willow Springs. So, yeah, it's the littler track on Willow Springs. The main track, I think, is 2.5 miles. This one is 1.6 miles. So it's a pretty technical track. The straights here aren't even that long. I think I only hit like 105 once, or maybe I hit 110, but yeah, I didn't. Your max speed's around 100 for me, at least, being not the best rider. This turn right here was the one that I struggled with all day, because you're coming off of the first straight and into like a really wide bend, and you're going super fast, and then you're into this decreasing radius kind of, I think it's considered turn 2, and it was just fucked me up. And we'll see in my third ride here, which wasn't my third ride, it was probably my 5th ride, I go wide on that and I actually go into the dirt, which you'll see in another video I post probably later this week. I'm only going to post this one tonight, but I'll post 3. This first one, just to kind of tell you the deal. Second one, which is me following a helper. I asked this guy, super nice guy, Daniel, to just help me. And so he was showing me the lines, and he's the one who was like, you should probably go into Group 0, because you're holding everyone up. And the only reason I held everyone up, I don't actually have that video, I don't think. The only reason I held everyone up is because when I started, there was a red flag because someone went down. And so when I was ready to enter the track, I was trying to enter the track behind everyone, but because there was a red flag, they wouldn't let me enter the track, and so all the dudes ended up coming behind me. And so I was leading the pack in Group 1 because of the fucking red flag, and that fucked me up. But here, I think we're not following anymore, and we're just kind of grooving a little bit. But again, here I had no idea which gear to be in. So that was a big issue. I was in third a lot of it, and then I tried to get it to first for the short stuff when I should have been in second. You're never in first in this whole track, ever. You should never be in first other than when you're first taking off when you start the track in the very beginning. It's second and third, and all the guys were like that they were in second and third. And so we're learning the hand signals here. Here you put your hand up to let them know you're exiting the track. This part here was very confusing to me, the exit versus continuing on. It fucked me up a couple times, and I actually exited the track illegally. Got yelled at one point. But it's all stuff you learn, and so this is a really good, I think, first track day track, because it's short, it's not that intense, you're never going like 140 on straightaways and scared about like braking from 140, and yeah, it's just good. So here I am, I'm still in the middle of the pack here, probably should have been in the back, but yeah, it was great. It was a nice learning experience, and yeah, I started getting the feel for it as the day went on, and in my last session, I feel like I was going really well. I got my tires were just like totally to the edge, like destroyed. So I was really leaning in and started trusting them. I never had any spin outs or like little squiggles on my rear tire, except for that time where I went into a neutral by mistake and fucked up. And so here we are on the straightaway with no leader for the first time, and you guys will kind of see me not do a great job here because I don't know what gear to be in or how to take turns at all still. The leader showed us how to take the turns. But still good. Still good learning experience just to do things over and over. You got to trust your tires though. You got to know what gear to be in for these turns. If you're on your first track day and you can ask somebody with a similar bike to you, what gear are you in for the turns, and you feel like they're not in a hugely better skill level than you, what gear are you in for the turns? I mean, all these guys, even the guys in higher groups than me, were like, oh, I'm in this track in particular, you're on a 1000cc like super bike like the XR, you're never going to go out of second or third. If you're on an RC 390, which some people were, yes, you're going to shift a little bit more, but on this S1000XR, you don't have to shift much because second and third are so epic. This guy is really chilling in front of me. I don't know what was happening here. But yeah, so I'm watching this guy's line because it's pretty good. But again, this group was a bit too quick for me, especially for my first time out. And a lot of times I was dipping into corners way too early. Here I just wasn't trusting my tires, so I was just riding like a bitch. And as the day progressed, I got so much better and really started having faith in my tires and was just working on my body positioning. At this point, I hadn't had the body positioning class. They also did a body positioning class. They did a lot of really amazing stuff this BMW ride. But the body positioning class, so I wasn't scooting my ass off for body positioning, and I was like death gripping my bars here. And I really was trying to train myself throughout the day to not death grip my bars because, man, it makes a huge difference. If you're able to just be loose on your bars and let the bike take the bumps. I mean, this track is notoriously bumpy. Like, it has some fucking holes in it at some points that you're going to go over. And if you're death gripping the bars when you go over these bumps and holes, you're fucked. So here, what gear was I in? I can't even see. Maybe I was in second here, but I kept wanting to go in first here, which was not the right thing to do. And I came onto this wrong, and then, well, that wasn't too bad. But, yeah, this guy, look at this guy in the GS. He was super gangster. He was really fast in the GS 1200. Awesome. He had like Metzler, 3070 tires. It was insane. So, yeah, just, you gotta be loose. You gotta learn your lines, and you gotta know what gear to be in. I mean, it's so important. This turn, I just couldn't get all fucking day. That actually wasn't horrible. I went a little wide there, but that was, see, I look back. Again, some other rules, you never, ever, ever, ever look back when you're on the track. Ever. It's like illegal activity. You look forward. You don't worry about who's behind you. It's their job to pass you safely. So the problem with me was in maybe it was my second session when I had the guy with the red flag that I was saying before, is that I was taking some crazy fucking lines. And so people couldn't pass me safely, so that's why they weren't, because they were like, holy shit, this guy's a fucking spaz and a half. And so they couldn't pass me safely, but you've got to learn your lines, and you've got to learn your gears, and you've got to loosen up. Like, you can't be super tight, and I was so tight for this first round. Didn't trust my tires. I had a lot of things going against me, and so as you can see, I'm just getting passed left and right. As the day went on, in Group 0, I definitely was one of the faster riders, but in this Group 1, I was definitely the slowest rider. So on your first track day, no matter what bike you have, no matter how many canyon days you have, it's a totally different ball game. Definitely, no matter how good you are in the canyons, go for the lowest group possible, because it's a lot. It's a lot to take in. It's a lot of nerves, and it's a lot to think about at any given time. I mean, it's so nice because obviously the benefit of the track is that you don't have to worry about oncoming traffic. You don't have to worry about, a lot of things. And so you can really just focus on your performance, who's ahead of you, what lines you should be taking, loosening up, your body positioning on turns. But you don't want to rush into it because, you just don't. I mean, you want to have fun and you want to take it easy. I got a lot of good advice this day. I got a lot of help from a lot of people. Everybody's super friendly. Nobody bitched me out, for instance, that lap that I did where I was just fucking everybody's day up with the red flag. See, it's my habit to look back. You see that I keep looking, kind of wanting to look back and then reminding myself that I'm never, ever, ever supposed to look back. Like, you have to focus on what's ahead of you and be super hyper focused on what's going on ahead of you and your surroundings and everything. But it's a hard habit to kick because I'm so used to looking at my rear view mirrors, which obviously I took off here. And so some other things to think about on this bike in particular, the XR, they were actually advising you probably want to run in dynamic. You want to run either U plus luggage or U plus pillion because you want your suspension super tight. I rode me plus luggage. Keep in mind I'm 217 pounds, so if you're 160 pounds, you definitely don't have to ride U plus pillion. U plus luggage will be fine, but I didn't want to go fully, whoops, is that where I spun out a little bit? Okay, I looked back again, terrible. You want to run dynamic suspension. You definitely don't want to run road suspension on this. And here I was running road, but eventually I went into dynamic and it actually felt a lot better. It feels a lot smoother, bike sounds better, so all around much better. So here, she's waving the checkered flag, that means it's her last lap. So, yeah, I'm going to try to have a lot of fun, but again, I don't know what gear to be in, so. I'm in third here, let's see, do I switch to second here? Yeah, but I did it like in the middle of the turn. I should have done it a little earlier. That was a good turn though. Can't hate on that. Again, I'm going super slow, but whatever. I'm not doing any body positioning here though, because I hadn't taken the class yet and really thought about it. I was just trying to like learn the course and the lines and the turns. Other things you have to think about, yeah, you have to tape all your shit up. You have to remove your things. If you have an XR, dynamic, and U plus luggage, definitely. Because you don't want it to move a lot. Even on these kind of bumpy tracks like this one where there's holes and stuff, you just want that bike to be tight. I have to say, my Rosso 2s were fucking champions on this track. They never, ever, and my front was super new, had 90 miles on it. They never missed a beat. And obviously I wasn't, like speed racing, but they were incredible. And so other guys who were faster than me were riding Pilot Road 4s, and again, they had the same results. Like, those tires are sick, and so I'm definitely getting those next. But don't think, if it's your first track day, that don't even question those Rosso 2s. Oh god, I'm doing this so bad. I'm going so slow. Because those Rosso 2s are great for track. Did I even lift up my hand? Anyway, so that's the deal. This is my first ride ever. I just wanted to, this video is about like kind of talking you through what I'm thinking, what you should know if you have an XR and you're going on your first track day, what you should be thinking about. It's it's kind of a nerve-wracking experience, but there's group 2, those are the faster guys. But yeah, it's awesome. And I'm going here to find my wife. She's somewhere, or I'm doing some weird loop. But yeah, I just wanted to tell you what was going through my mind and kind of walk you through what you should be thinking about before you get here, so you're in much better shape than me. Because it took me until my probably my second or third session talking to people, figuring things out before I actually knew what the fuck I was doing. And yeah, before I knew what was going on. There's my lovely wife cheering me on. And yeah, that's it. So, all right, guys, this is Bobo Jones. I'm going to post my second ride, which was with the guy I was following soon. And yeah, let me know if you have any other questions. Bobo Jones saying, Arrivederci.